All right, and then these four categories, you're going to have the overall winner. We're going to have a potential dark horse in the competition. We're going to have a breakthrough player, and obviously then top scorer. So, Rob, starting with you, we'll start with the dark horse.
I think a lot of people are actually going to say this, but Denmark, for obvious reasons, they seem to have a pretty good team. They've got a decent group. Their their next game, if they even if they come second, isn't entirely bad in the group. So I think they've got okay, like good squad. They're in that higher category, so they're not at the top level yet in the Euro international setup, but they're in a nice kind of area. I'd put them better than Croatia now at this stage because Croatia are a bit of an agent team. I think a lot of people will be saying Denmark, and of course my boy Rasmus Højlund up front. Hope he carries them. He did well through qualifying as well. They're a likable team. Denmark. They play good football. They don't just sit back behind the ball. They actually do try and play. Unlike maybe like Switzerland or like I find Poland very boring to watch. At one dimensional. Yeah.
Okay, Oshin.
I'm going to say Turkey. I have no idea why. I just want to say Turkey.
You like it at Christmas, you can't.
Don't even. No, I think honestly, I have no idea why I picked Turkey if I'm going to stick with it. I just think I get more or less for the same reasons that Rob said that the coming third place, second place, like it nearly works in your favor. There's not overly a lot of strong European teams this year. So yeah, I'm going to say Turkey. Or at least get to the knockout stages of the quarters.
Yeah. All right, Adam.
I'm torn between Denmark and Austria. Denmark for the reasons Rob was speaking of, obviously semi-finals last Euros as well. Austria, obviously we were saying how good they were, how good they're looking. Like we all predict them to get out of the group in second over Netherlands. I feel like Austria and Denmark have kind of taken over now from the likes like Poland, Croatia, who are just teams that are just a small bit under the elites that could potentially make a good run. So look, either one of them two, I think, will have a good run in the competition. So it'd be nice to see either one of them two.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm gonna go personally with Switzerland. I think they're kind of in the same form as you said about Denmark. Like they're hard to beat sometimes. When it clicks for Switzerland, they're a very, very tough team to beat. They do have some good players in good areas. I just think, that group, I don't think Scotland will do as well as maybe some people might think they'll do. But I think Switzerland could, I don't know if they'll win it, but they'll definitely get to the latter stages. They could even sneak to a semi-final, I think, if players perform and, things go their way, obviously. All right, next up, we're going to go breakthrough player. This could be any player from any team that you think will do very well in the tournament. There is quite a few young rising stars in the tournament this year, and could be a handful of players you could pick. Adam, I'm going to start with you here.
I'm going to go for Yamal from Spain,
Yamal.
16,
Yeah.
Barcelona star. I think a lot of people will be looking at him to say, is he the real deal? I feel like there's a time to prove it. This is it. I feel like the Euros, there's always a load of young players that end up popping out. But there's a lot of young players that end up doing well that end up going to nothing as well, like just random players. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Yamal. Obviously, I think a lot of Spanish people will be hoping that he produced the goods because I feel like a lot of pressure will be on him. So 16 years old, it'd be nice to see if he can rise to the occasion.
Very good. All right. And Oshi.
I'm going to say Kobe Manu.
Right.
I think I know he's well known to us, and I know it's easy for you to say because he's a United fan. But I think just the way he's ended his season, I think he's prime now to go into this tournament. I think he'll pick up a man the match award in one of those group stages if he gets started. And so, I was going to pick Arda Ruler, but I think no, I'll stick with Kobe. I think Kobe's going to have a really good tournament.
Yeah. Rob.
I've gone for two. One of them being a 26-year-old, so not like breakthrough doesn't necessarily mean young. Okay, it just means you're gonna like it could just step up. So Dani Olmo for Spain. I think if Spain are going to do well, he'll be vital. He has picked up important goals for them before.
Yeah.
This could get him up to the next stage. Like if he has a good tournament, City are going to be looking for a right winger now. He could slot in there. You could definitely see it happen. Say he finishes the tournament with maybe 5 goals. What's to say he doesn't go from Leipzig over to City? But my main breakthrough player will be João Neves, as you'll see future reasons why I'm going for João Neves. If Portugal do well, he's going to be in the middle of it, just like Enzo was for Argentina. So João Neves to really be the breakthrough, but Dani Olmo, this could be his major tournament if Spain are to do well.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I initially went with Adam Wharton, and I think it's going to be between him and Manu as to who starts. I would be, if I was Southgate, I probably tend to pick Wharton over Manu, and I don't know why that is, but I don't know. Adam Wharton just has a bit more. I think Rice, Bellingham, they're nailed on 100%. That's how it is. And then I don't know. It's just hard to know between the two, but I think one of them is probably will be my standout, or what's his name? I can't
Arda Güler.
Guler.
See, I think the thing with
Guler.
Wharton and Manu is Manu is more attacking, but Wharton is more defensive. So knowing Southgate, he goes defensive first.
Yeah.
So he probably will go over. Look, he'll probably play Trent in midfield anyways, and Kyle Walker right back.
More than likely.
Saying that though, I'd like to see both Cobby and Adam Morton getting a chance.
I would
'cause
too.
I really like Adam Morton.
I'd try to take Adam Wharton out. He's very nice.
All right, next category, we're going to go golden boot. This could be interesting now. We tend to, you tend to look at the big hitters, but then when you look at the group, some easy groups, there might be a player that might have 3 easy games and could score, half full of goals. And, usually with these ones, 5, 6, 7, 8 goals are usually enough to win it. So it could be interesting. Mushin, I'll start with you here.
Trying to just look up something. I'm so torn on this one. I wanted to say Ramos Højlund. I wanted to say Gianluigi Scamacca from Italy, or Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz is playing back up front now for Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the end of the season he had with Arsenal wasn't too bad. He was getting a few goals. I think Ramos is now an out striker. So I think he'll definitely get goals in his group stage. It just depends on how far they'll go.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but then there's Harry Kane. I don't know. I'm gonna say Ramos out of pure bias, but I can't call it this year. Like Kylian Mbappe, I was saying yesterday, but I don't think he'll be in with the goals. The group stage will be too. I don't know. I'll just say Ramos Højlund on the basis that he'll get plenty of opportunities.
Rasmus Højlund. All right, interesting. Rob.
I got to say Cristiano Ronaldo, being a United fanboy, but
I forgot.
That's just one thing. How could you forget about the goat, man? But played Czech Republic, Georgia, Turkey. That's that
sure.
bad.
Yeah, you could.
And you're expecting Luxembourg to pop up as well in the group stage for them as well. Like, it's hard to see Portugal not scoring at least 10 goals in that group, to be honest.
Yeah.
And for him to, he's going to be on penalties, he's going to be on short free kicks. Bruno has kicked into form back in the season. Like Portugal, once they click, they're my potential winners anyways. But it's just if they can click. But Ronaldo, he's still got a lot to prove coming back into Europe from Saudi after breaking the record in Saudi, which, a lot of people say that's nothing, but Mitrovic didn't do it, Benzema isn't doing it. There's a lot of players over there aren't doing it. So, and he's like with the best team. But yeah, and it's Ronaldo, it's like Portugal might get knocked out in the round of 16. But sure, you only need maybe 5 goals against them 3 teams, and that could win it.
Exactly.
Like you only have to play 3 games, and you're done.
Yeah, Adam.
I was torn between 3: Lukaku, Ronaldo, Harry Kane. Obviously, Ronaldo, Rob stated all the reasons. Also, is his last dance. He has a lot to prove. Lukaku, easy group.
I believe I said Gianluigi Scamacca. Where the fuck did I forget Ronaldo?
Just because he's beautiful, man. You just said it because he's good.
Good looking man.
Adam fled Turkey. Nothing goes a big Turkey. Is there fucking?
Yeah, well, that was a poor coincidence because
Scamacca was going to finish top scorer.
Yeah, I say as one of them. I'll stick a 5 on it.
As I was saying, Harry Kane, he's going to score goals, but because England aren't bringing the like fast, tricky players who get in behind, they won't get as much penalties as they usually do in these tournaments, which eliminates at least 2 or 3 goals off Harry Kane. Obviously, people will be looking at Mbappe. Højlund is a good shout as well. I'm going to go with Ronaldo as well. I think Portugal do have the easiest group. I think Rob stated all the reasons. Bruno's coming into form now as well. I could see nearly Bruno going for it as well. But Ronaldo, I think the penalties and everything, and I think just because there is a bit of pressure on him as well.
He
a lot of people
he has nothing to prove, but he does have something to prove at the same time.
He's
the most international goals ever, most club goals. He's just proven, and he keeps doing it. But he's a problem from everything. Even he's going to take any set pieces not taken, like corners, he's the biggest fucking threat in the box.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, come on,
Yeah.
it's Ronaldo the other day.
Sure,
I just hope he doesn't get injured first game, but
There
you
you
know,
go.
it's
Yeah. Yeah, look, a lot of people I think will probably go with a Belgian pair looking at their group, but I think they'll probably win the group pretty easily, but they're always slow starters, and I don't think they'll score many goals in that group, Belgium. So I'm not going to go with any. I was thinking maybe Trossard, but big Lukaku up front probably get a few, but it's hard. It is hard to know this year. Who knows? Like, yeah, obviously with a lot of talk of Ronaldo, good group. He's obviously the talisman for Portugal. Harry Kane, yeah, takes penalties. He's off a record season for Bayern Munich as well. It's hard to know, man.
I
Just
think
because I'm just going
in
to go with
terms,
Mbappe, just because I think France will score a lot of goals in that group stage.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'd like to think this seems like one of the better Euros there's been, just in terms of the quality. Like, it's
yeah,
I
very
think
hard to tell. In turn, there's a lot of very good players playing as well. Like, even most years, top scorer you kind of nailed on one or two, maybe three, but this year there seems to be four or five players that could do very well. I think that's good for everyone. It's gonna be a
yeah.
lot of
But I
entertainment.
think you have six teams that generally have pretty much have an equal chance, maybe 5% of the difference. But
Yeah.
we haven't had that in a while, and I know I've said it before in the group chat stuff, but some beautiful jerseys as well to be worn. Proper
Oh,
summer
yeah.
football.
All right, lastly, then, probably the most important category, the overall winner. Like you just touched on there, Rob, there's probably 6, 7 teams that have a good chance of winning it this year. I'm going to start with you, Rob, just because I think you mentioned before as well, you think Portugal are going to win. Just briefly, briefly on Portugal and why you think they're going to win.
I've touched on it a few times now. Like for my breakthrough player, main one is João Neves in center mid. Top goal scorer Ronaldo. It's just their group is nice. It's easy. They have the squad where they can relax players anyways. They can rest players. Never mind having the fixtures to do it as well. They've got a nice run. They've dominated qualifying, so they're on that period. Their players are in form nicely. What's not to like about them? They're just coming to form, and they know how to win as well. It's not as if they haven't won it before, like England, who's it's lifetimes ago. They've done it. They've got similar players who've done it, like in that team as well. So, it's hard not to say it could have went easy with France, but I don't think this France team's as good as they were 4 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've already peaked. Now I'm open to being wrong. There's a lot of good teams.
Right, Adam. Next, who do you think is going to win?
You know what? Someone's gonna have to say it, so I'm gonna say it. England. I think
I was going to say it.
I think 4 years. Well, we say 4 years ago, 3 years ago, they should have won it. I mean, Italy were so lucky. Obviously, Saka let his country down.
Sancho did as well. Hey, whoa.
Hey, we don't like Sancho. We don't like
Actually,
Sancho.
who else missed for United as well? There was another miss.
I don't remember. Got too drunk that night. Anyway, obviously England bottled it. They're looking great. I think they're bound to win something eventually. Just as we were talking about, can they balance the midfield? If Southgate goes attacking, if he goes with Bellingham, Rice, and one of Manu and Wharton, Trent at right back, and then the rest of the team fits itself, I think they should walk it. Depending on how the knockouts go, I think I'm torn. I think England might win it, but Germany, England, France, Portugal, anyone at them four, I think outside of them, I think it's them four and then it's the rest.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be very good. But I think England might just do it this time. They're bound to eventually. I think this is probably the best, maybe not individually the best team they've had, but I think as an overall team, this is one of the better teams they've had in a long time.
Right. I mean, I'll make a point on that when it comes to me. But Oshie, we'll go to you next.
I was torn between Portugal and Germany. I think Germany
could finesse their way to a final.
Yeah, and I just think just the way that how shit they were up until Nagelsmann was hired. Obviously, Nagelsmann had the poor start with Germany, but he kind of found a structure for them and their playing that they seemed to enjoy. I think they drew the last game. I get that, but they were playing a very minimal second team or a rotational team. But like part of me just thinks that it's kind of with everything going on with Germany that it could be them. I think the realist in me probably says actually Portugal, because of exactly what Rob said, the strike force that they have. They do actually have a serious depth in their squad. Probably the best,
Yeah.
probably the best in Europe, if not like some of the best in the world, I think, actually.
Yeah.
If you look at someone that had their bench, I think obviously people will say like they still have Pepe in the team and Ronaldo, but the two quality players playing at the highest level.
Pepe's best season was last year in all of football.
Yeah, so
I think
like
he had
Yeah,
two yellow cards in the whole season.
yeah, so I think but I think just for the basis that Rob said Portugal, I'll go with Germany. Home advantage probably being a real point. They do structurally they look very good in that pitch. They have players that are coming in well. I think they need to drop Gundogan. I think he'd pour Stoward with Barcelona or pour end up with Barcelona. They need to probably put Musiala in that centre attacking midfield role, but we'll see. But I'm gonna go with Germany.
Right, very good, interesting. Yeah, like I was going to say England, and I think that they need to win. I think this is because if they don't win it this year, I think that's probably it. Because Harry Kane, he's he's still at the top level, but he's only going to go down from here. Like the World Cup, yeah, he'll still be at a high level, but the next Euros might not be as high. And England have no out and out proper striker coming through after him. Like Solanke had a great season, obviously. But Watkins is doing well as well. But I don't know, with England, I don't think he'll ever reach the Harry Kane heights, anyways.
They're not number 9s, to be fair.
Exactly, they're not. Like Ollie Watkins is kind of like a weird, he's like a weird striker. He's like a modern day striker. Like Harry Kane is probably the last of like the out and out number 9s, just there to score goals, none of this other fancy stuff.
I could see though because the thing with England now, you don't have your Marcus Rashford. Kane can't play deep because there's no one that can run him behind.
Yeah.
Foden's
Unless it's Anthony Gordon.
On the left, like Grealish and Foden probably on the left. I think Saka
can go in behind, but
yeah,
if you only have one player going in behind.
The only one to go behind is a fucking shithead from Newcastle. I just said his name like 10 seconds ago.
Anthony Gordon.
I don't think Anthony Gordon will see much game time, to be honest with you.
But I think for Southgate not to bring Rashford, I think is a very big mistake, and I think a lot of English fans, if they don't win it, will be regretting not bringing him.
I don't think so. I think that would be incredibly harsh. You can't say like, oh, the Rashford of this season would have turned that around. You can say, oh, he's done this for England, but at the same time, no
it's
guarantee.
Not that, but it's
never guarantee he's going to do that for England this season.
But like,
4 seasons.
It's not only that, but if you're playing the likes of Spain, Germany, and their right back is playing against Greece, not going to do much. If he sees the likes of Anthony Gordon coming on, he's not going to be as. But if he's seen Rashford coming on, he'd be like, oh fuck. But like, it's the potential of what they could do, and I think Rashford doesn't really perform too bad for England. And I think if he's picking the likes of Grealish, it makes no sense.
That's where the argument lies. I think is the fact that Grealish is gone.
Yeah.
I think that's where the argument.
Grealish should be dropped. Eze should probably go. Eze is one of those people that can take on.
I actually don't think Rashford probably should have been picked, but I think if you're picking Grealish, I think he should have went over Grealish because he offers.
It's just really the problem about with England. I know we're going a bit off track, but with England, they've no one to play behind, so it's all going to be in front of the defence. And England already played boring football.
Yeah.
Now maybe Bellingham can drop in the lines and maybe Mane if he plays or whatever. But look, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm very interested to see how they line up. Will Trent go in midfield? He played midfield last time for them, and he apparently played a stormer. 130.
He was terrible in midfield until he moved back to right back.
Oh, was that it? Okay.
I've seen the context. You got to taken out of context his whole performance, in my opinion, anyways. But that's Trent for you. That's Trent for you. Yeah. Right, I guess that's going to do it for this episode of the Euro 2024 predictions on the Party Football Podcast. Don't forget, do get involved in the Discord. The link will be in the description as well. Let us know your thoughts and predictions down below. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Keep up to date with all the videos during the Euros. And we'll see you at the end of it.